Okay, I'm gonna be doing an oil change on my Ducati 2006 Ducati Monster S2R. I cleaned the chain and lubricated last night and washed the bike. And before I winterize it, I gotta do the oil change, as I usually do like every time before I put in the storage in the garage. So it's a good idea to put some fresh oil. Anyway, before you guys start doing it, you have to run the bike just a little bit, just put it up, I don't know, for like 5 minutes. And just run it, make sure that it's warmed up. You don't have to run it too much. So make sure that it's warm and be careful, don't burn yourself. There's the exhaust pipe, they get pretty high. If you run like 10-15 minutes, you probably have to cool it off. And anyway, let's get started. So there's a few things I noticed. The reason I'm doing this, a lot of people do an oil change, but they don't touch the oil screen, and it's right here. Let me show it to you. Like this is not, the oil screen. You got to remove this sleeve. This is oil pressure gauge. Goes into. We'll get into it. This is actually I used to have Ducati 900 SS, and this is my first Monster. So it looks slightly different, but in a sense they're all kind of the same. And there's a plug, the oil plug. I believe it's 10 millimeters hex key. Hex range, and this one is I think it's about 14 millimeter hex. So all right, let's get started. All right, before you guys do it, make sure that you unscrew this oil filler plug. It's important because it will drain, the oil will drain better. Because a lot of people also miss on this point, you need to get the air inside. Let's get to I think it's 10 millimeter. Here's 10 millimeter hex range. Okay. Yeah, this is terrible. This is kind of a horrible green color. I'm not so sure. I have to find out what the hell is that. It's an air cooled. There shouldn't be any green color. Maybe some water got inside. That's not a good sign. That's a good reason when I get a new bike, you better change yourself. Even though the previous owner tells you he changed your oil, don't believe that shit. So okay, the washer, I would be able to reuse it. The washer looks actually fine. So let it drain. Okay, make sure you clean it up because this is a magnetic plug, drain plug, and clean it up. I don't see any particles, but I'm concerned about the color of this oil. It's Jesus. You see, you never know when you buy stuff like this. It's a disaster. So if you guys watch and let me know what is the green stuff. As far as I know, there is no any radiator here. Like there's a radiator with oil running through, unless there is someone putting water in it, so somehow the water got inside. I have no clue, guys. Yeah, the washer is nice. Probably I might have some and can put a new washer. It's a good idea to replace it. So yeah, the good news, there's no particles on the drain plug, so it looks pretty clean to me. Yeah, okay, let it flow and we'll get back to oil screen, I guess. Okay, let's get the filter, the oil filter out. Yeah, I'm really concerned about this whole green oil thing. Okay, someone over tightened way too much. People go crazy. They can strip this thread in here. You cannot do that shit. Sorry. Excuse me for my English. Okay, I'll let it drain. Let's leave it here. I'm gonna reuse it. I'm actually gonna flip this washer and I'm gonna reuse it. It looks just fine. I don't think it's compressed or anything. Well, so I'm gonna set my on specs. It says supposed to be the torque 42 Nm, so I think it's roughly in pounds it's 30 per foot-pound. So I'm gonna set up my torque wrench, and to specify torque, that's important. So don't over tighten this plug. It's very important because if you run a little bit, your aluminum engine block, it's still warm. You can strip it. It's, aluminum is pretty soft, especially when it's warm. So you can strip the thread here. Let me run the torque wrench. Okay, this is torque wrench. I set it up on 42 Nm. All right. Should be done. Okay. Okay, let's get to the screen, the oil screen. You have to pull this sleeve out, and there's electrical clip. All you have to do is just pull it out. Okay, that's it. So, and there's a 22 millimeters, and that's an issue I might have because this, when I googled it, it's in the specs supposed to be 32 millimeters crush washer, and I don't have it. I have to reuse it, so hopefully I don't have to, I'm not gonna have any oil leak. So this is kind of important. So, but I will go with the specs. This is the same specs, 42, the torque 42 Nm. So let's do this one first. This bolt. Okay. Okay, I just released this one. It was pain in the neck, to be honest. It's a 21 millimeters, if you guys want to know. Let's do that. It's going to be interesting. So there is a large diameter crush washer here. Yep. So hopefully I'm gonna flip it over. I don't have this big size, but I will flip it over and we'll see. Actually, oil different color here, which is very interesting. I don't know why it's so green down there. Maybe there's a really what I got to kind of explore. Probably I'll have to check now the spark plugs, which is kind of interesting. I'm kind of suspicious about this. Like I said, when you get a new bike, it's it's unknown. I guess it's gonna have to inspect it and see if it. Yeah, this is the smooth side. I'm gonna flip it over. Put the smooth side in. Yeah, maybe. Okay, and clean this contact later. This is important. The oil not gonna get on this electrical contact. So that's kind of. Okay, let's get now. I think it's a 14 millimeters inside here. Let's get to this one. Yeah, it's the hex 14 millimeters. Let's see if I have enough depth. Yep, it will fit. So that's gonna be interesting too. Okay. Make sure that it fits well. Okay. Yep. Broke this one too. Yeah, it's a very deep thread here. Okay, now let's see. That's gonna be interesting reveal. This one surprisingly looks pretty clean. I'm gonna blow with, with compressed air. I don't see any particles in here. Maybe it was cleaned. So the way it snapped out, it doesn't seem like it was clean, but like I mean, maybe at some point someone, but anyway, I'm gonna clean it up and we'll get to this. Okay, here we are. I just cleaned it with compressed air. The good news, there was no any particles in it, no metal parts or anything, so we're just gonna put it back, install it back, and hopefully that's not gonna leak. Hopefully this washer, I googled it, and these 32 millimeters, they're really hard to come by. So let's screw this back. So, but I'm kind of glad that I checked it, even though it looks fine, but you never know when you get a new bike. It's absolutely, can of worms if you ask me. Okay. It has to go with the same specs, 42 Nm, the torque. Okay, let's do, I think I set up from previous, because it's the same torque as the oil plug. Set at 42. Okay, I got it. And now we're gonna set this one. I did flip the washer. Okay, I cleaned this one. And this contact important to clean it up. So this is. Okay. I'm gonna put some oil inside and kind of like a smear all around, which is probably most of you guys know that. So okay. Okay, I'm gonna change the gloves because I want to do it hand tied. So there is a nothing here because this is K&A filter, but I always do it hand tied. You don't have to go crazy. So I'm gonna change the gloves and we're gonna tie this proper way. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do it hand tied. Like this. I cleaned up because I put some messed up with a little oil, so it sits there pretty well. What you can do if you guys want to make sure, you could just do like literally the 17 millimeters, just a quarter turn, like half a turn, and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna sit in there, no more than a quarter or like a half a turn. Like don't even do like a whole full turn. You know. Okay. Okay guys, everything that looks nice and clean. We're just gonna, let me just gonna fill up with oil and we're gonna be all done, we're gonna be run. So I'm using actually Castrol 1040 full synthetic, and I'm using for like my Kawasaki, all my bikes. I know it's not, you know, I think it's 2050 shell because I don't like the shell. Is actually, it's, yeah, I know it's a Ducati recommended, but it's half synthetic. So okay. Let's fill it up and so okay, and I filled it up with 2.5 quarts, and this is why it's important to use it, you know, the rear stand, not to do it on the side stand, because you have no clue. You don't want to overfill it or underfill, and that's why you have to watch this window. Right now it's 2.5 quarts. It's kind of in between low and high line, so I probably gonna run a bike, just start it up, run, and cool it off and see, you know. And you always have to add some more oil, so that's you know, don't forget to plug your bike, you know, the fuel hole plug. That's kind of important. One time I actually changed oil and I got closed the fuel hole and it just all like squirted out. So yeah, I think we're pretty much done, and I kind of curious what this green stuff was about, and I hope it's not gonna, I have to check the spark plugs and see what's going on, and if there is a water came somehow got into engine, that would be not, I mean, it was running fine. So if you guys have any suggestions, please post. And okay guys, just a quick update. I ran a bike for a few minutes and let it cool off, and so I see the level just at the low, and so it's close. I put probably altogether like close to 3 quarts, and make sure that you check, you know, don't rely on this reading when you just fill it up right away. You have to run a bike first and cool it off, put on a center stand, sorry, on the rear stand, and when it's cooled off, make sure that, you know, it filled properly. I can add just a little. So and okay guys, thank you so much for watching again, and please post some comments if you have any questions or suggestions. So like I said, it's a pretty new, for me this is my first monster. I had 900 SS, so I think I have to deal with some stuff here and make sure it's like I said, I'm gonna change the spark plugs, probably make sure there's no any water leak or anything, because this green oil is kind of not good. But otherwise it's running well. Okay guys, bye.